Tsugumomo. Don't mind me, I just like saying that. So, as always, I'm not talking about the anime, just the manga version. And if you wonder, I believe the correct pronunciation is something among like Tsugumomo. All in all, without trying to give away too much here, I really like the beginning of this thing. But around chapter 70 or something, something happens and it kind of goes very downhill, I have to say. It's still ongoing as of now. It's 2017 and currently there's 99 chapters released to my knowledge. Possibly 100. So technically I'm speaking way too soon because it's not over yet, but I want to bring attention to this manga because overall, while there are a lot of problems with it, especially after that incident, the beginning is just so good. So what's this series about? In this world there are things called Tsugumomo, although they use a different name for it at times, which is pretty much an object that has lived for so long that has kind of gained a sentient soul. Some people can use these Tsugumomos in battle. They use abilities related to the object in question. For example, the main character uses a Tsugumomo named Kiriha, who is pretty much a piece of cloth. So every ability he uses in battle is pretty much transforming that piece of cloth into drills or walls, etc. It's pretty much Bleach meets Shaman King or something. Maybe not the most original in terms of setting, but there is one thing that makes it really stand out, and that is of course just how dedicated it is to its borderline porn. There are so many bath scenes, and almost all of them ends with someone coming. I'm not joking about that, it's so stupid. Like, someone always find an excuse to clean someone's genitalia super thoroughly, and of course, yeah. And I see this listed as a scene in manga. Bullshit, it's shonen. Beginning to end, pretty much. The only reason why it'd be considered seinen is because of the blatant sex appeals it has. Like, it shows nipples and orgasms at times, although they pretty much always play it flat. And that's actually one of the very strong points of this whole, at least in the beginning. It's really funny, actually. It gets really raunchy, so if you don't like that sort of thing, this is not for you at all. And I also like the characters, even if some of them are kind of flat and generic. The thing that salvaged them is, of course, should I say, their interactions. Hubba hubba. No, just kidding. But I do like the main character's relationship, who is some random boy, pretty much. Who is, of course, your typical beta male who always gets raped, pretty much, by his Tsugumomo Kiriha. Like, she doesn't give a shit about being naked in front of him. The first time he walks in on her naked. She's like, well, aren't you here to scrub my back? He's like, what? And she always sleeps in the nude next to him. And it's been shown multiple times that she touches him while he sleeps. It's so stupid. I love it so much. And I've told myself when I started this quick thought series that I would never go into spoilers unless it's absolutely necessary. And this is almost a time when I really want to go into spoiler territory, but I won't. But I'll say as vaguely as I can that around chapter 70 something, like I said, something happens and it's like, it just comes out of nowhere. It's like, what? Really? You did that? And the series hasn't really picked up since. You can tell in the afterword, in the volumes, that the author didn't really have any goal in mind when he was doing the series. He just kind of did his own thing, and it actually shows. There's not really any plot or really driving force or in the earlier parts of the manga. It's just the daily life of these characters, them interacting and bathing slash raping each other from time to time. It's just a fun little thing. And it would have been fine if he just kept doing that, but all of a sudden he was like, I think I should try to end this. And he figured he'd do that around 70 something, and he still hasn't done it. And after that event, there's like 2 volumes, like over 15 chapters worth of flashbacks, and it just drags on. And it hasn't picked up the pace since, so that's one of the reasons I'm not sure if I should recommend this. To be fair, it is still ongoing. I know I am counting my eggs before they hatch here. Maybe it picks up, maybe it becomes magnificent again. Maybe it doesn't. My money is on not, because it's gonna take a whole lot of retconning to undo that. But that doesn't take away how solid the beginning was. Because it was really funny. Like I said, I haven't laughed that much in a long time. And the fact that I got so emotional about, well, that event shows that this series did something really good to me. Since it evidently made an emotional connection to me. I'm actually glad for it. Like, if that happened, and I just go, whatever, then it would be something wrong with the manga. Like, it hasn't made me connect with the story or characters or whatever. And since it did, well, it's one of the best compliments you could ever give something, I'd say. I mean, even still after that, it's not like it's incompetently made. The action scenes are, for the most part, relatively brief. Even if they do the whole thing that they have to explain everything, like, oh, he used a shield wave to block her punch, or something. The artwork still shines through. The characters are fun, like I said. Although, maybe it should have just kept as a stupid slice of life thing, but like I said, maybe it picks up, maybe it doesn't. As of now, though, in this moment in time, I'd say give it a read. Just be prepared that there's gonna be a big change of it, and you might like it, and you might not. All I can say is that the author has this rule that whenever he introduces a new character, he has to show her naked. In the first chapter, preferably. It shows. And if a series has romance and sex appeal, I'm pretty much sold. Even if it's trash, I'll still read it, because my mind just needs that sometimes. And the fact that I got so emotional over a certain event shows that maybe it's not just trash. Maybe it tried to be something more, but kind of failed. Possibly, I'm not sure. But still, maybe if it all just went hunky-dory and they just had sex and raped each other and then it was over, maybe, wouldn't possibly have had this reaction and connected with it as much. I'm not sure, but the future looks pretty good for this manga. I guess by the end of things, I really do recommend it. If you're curious, go check it out and buy it if you wish. Like I said though, if you're offended by sexual material, this is not for you. Though keep in mind they play it for laugh every time. If that's your sense of humor, then this, I don't think even the event will particularly annoy you. They'll still deliver. Although it's kind of weird that they show flashbacks of how things used to be. It's like he realized he painted himself into a corner. But whatever, thank you so much for listening. If you want me to babble about something else, tell me in the comments. I'll see you next time.